as long as you stay true to yourself, that's what matters.
Well, during the conversation, when we do come back, we're speaking accents.
So people think that you are not intelligent because they equate intelligentsia with the accent.
Anish.
Yeah.
And people get overlooked based on their accent.
Yeah, so far if you actually happen to speak in a language, especially it might be your language, or you are using an accent that is more African, like when a person is coming from Venda, you can actually tell that this person is coming from Venda. So people think that you are not intelligent because they equate intelligentsia with the accent that people actually use when they are speaking the languages and all these other things. So it is very important that we need to actually understand that our languages carries a lot in terms of culture, tradition. So we must actually be able to speak our languages, because if we do not actually speak our languages, or rather speak the language using accent where we come from, it's not a problem, because in South Africa it's only a problem because most of the people will always want to speak like when you're at school. The teachers that are actually teaching you English, they want you to actually pronounce words in a different manner. Yeah. So that will actually take the way in which people speak and actually they speak what their teachers want them to speak. So that is what is actually killing our culture and all these things.
Personally, have you guys ever had like the experience whereby like how you affect an encounter like that when it comes to an accent?
Not per se in accent, but my being had a negative effect on me because that teacher it's either I speak in English or get out of the class. So I took it upon myself that I cannot lose my identity because of an institution. So that's where I realized what our problem is. As Abandaba Mnyama, we are put into these institutions, these big schools, and they're told that they're going to make us better as Abandaba Mnyama, whereas they are just there to really strip away our identity, our customs, our cultures. So that was my experience when it came to my native language.
Enock, have you ever felt somewhat undermined when people thought you weren't intelligent based on accent?
Yeah, I've seen it so many times, because my accent is not that from it's not that Western. When I speak, you can actually tell this guy is coming from Guyana and all this other thing. So most of the time when you speak, people will actually just say when I'm Changan and all those other thing. Just to show your accent can actually tell that where you come from. So it is very important that we need to actually just change that mentality, because it is more of a colonial thinking. We are actually perpetuating the slavery kind of mentality when we actually speak in that way of actually imitating the accent of the Western people.
Can I just say something? And we don't realize, but in language there is so much knowledge, there is so much wisdom that is stored in a language. So taking that away from a human being, I think is a very, very serious violation of life. Because now we've got this timeless accumulation of wisdom that is passed on from umdu opilayo onto umdu ongasaphili onto umdu ozaphila in time unimaginable. So there's a lot of wisdom in languages. So let's not lose ubuntu bethu nolimi lwethu because of institutions and societal stigma that has been attached to us, for example, Enock.
So now how do we go about that young girl, young boy, also going to go to the workplace, and obviously more so the Western English together. So Jola, now, go to workplace, how do we find the balance for now? Because at the end of the day, we all have to understand each other. That's it. It doesn't matter. So how do we find the balance?
Yeah, teacher and balabla the institutions to Hambana, different institutions of higher learning, even the high schools that we went to are very different. So there are those people who actually come from the former Model C school.
Yeah.
They will want to actually promote that culture of that kind of an accent. But those that are actually coming from the British universities like us will actually want to actually promote that way of an accent, because we know we can't actually fit into that accent from the Model C schools and all those other things. So it is very important that we should first understand what is the what is the purpose for us to speak, or a purpose of a language. The purpose of a language is just to communicate. As long as I understand what you are saying, as long as you understand what I'm saying, why should I actually brag and say that?
So in essence, you must let your work speak for itself.
Yes, that's how it is supposed to.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. And at the end of the day, the conclusion is that you have to be confident in who you are and where you come from. And once you're good with that, then you sort of. And thank you.
And we, sorry, just to conclude. And we look at our leaders such as Mandela. Mandela was a hero, and he had a Xhosa accent. That did not take away his intelligence.
Yes.
You know, so we need to. Usarafina, for example, flash. Look at the camera. Smile at the camera. Look at everybody. Show them. She's a star. You know. Then it was not she was a star because Twenga is this Mangabakala. It was just because she was gifted and she was talented.
Yeah.
And that is what's important, and we need to not forget that. Yes, yes.
Love on the